Hi, I'm Denise, and I'm really happy to be with you this afternoon. This is a little bit different format than what we've been doing in other Wednesday webinars, and I'd love to hear from you on the Facebook chat as to how you are liking this format. We're not quite sure exactly how we're going to do this going forward, but I wanted to share there's so much new stuff on Music Play Online. I wanted to share with you what we some of what we have. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen and go to online learning. And really, this is a misnomer. This is not just for your virtual learners. This is for your um, in-person classes as well. So 3 lovely new modules here in the general section, which means not graded. So in the Hall of the Mountain King, I have given you a teacher guide, a student worksheet for this, and the whole lesson that I do when I teach this. Sometimes this is more than one lesson, but I start by asking the kids how they can vary this rhythm. So we'll read it and then we'll try different tempo, different dynamics, try a crescendo, try a decrescendo, try different timbres. Ti ti ta, ti ti ta, ti ti ta, ti 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 ta. And so we'll try out and we'll my aim always is to get them to find 18 ways that they can vary that rhythm. And then we go on and we listen to In the Hall of the Mountain King. They number a piece of paper from 1 to 18, or you can download and print this page from supporting resources. Here's the music. And what they try and do is jot down what changes in each repetition. So let's listen to a little bit. That's number one. What changed? What changed in number two? Did you hear the bassoon come in number two? So they'd take those notes and then we'd go through it and we'd talk about it. And then we would do the movement to show the 18 repetitions of the theme. So in this one, I'm going to stop sharing so I can see everybody's lovely faces better. And I'm going to play it on a second device. And and then I want you to copy what I'm doing. So we're going to do head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. And we're going to do that a whole bunch of times. Now, my second device has decided to choose this moment to freeze. So maybe I'm not going to do that. There we go. Knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, nose, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, nose, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it is quite long. At the end, the ending, you go, no more, no more, head and shoulders, knees and toes, no more, no more, head and shoulders, knees and toes, no more, no more, no, 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 more. So that is a whole module on In the Hall of the Mountain King. So I'm going to share the screen again and show you again where it is. It's in online learning modules. And it's right here in the Hall of the Mountain King. So this is a lesson, possibly even 2 lessons that you could do with it. Halloween Happenings module has been growing like crazy. So we included in here links to the storybooks that were mentioned last week by Christy and Tracy. Christy and Tracy mentioned looking for Dracula, so we've included a link to that as well. So this will be a YouTube link through Safe Share. That's the one that didn't get hacked. And often I would just play this and dramatize with the kids. Video's entertaining, but I think it's good for kids to dramatize. And then here, Tracy, who's caught with her mouth open.
Mash. During the verses, we'll be doing the pattern. During the chorus, we're going to turn, switch, pat, and down.
So Tracy teaches how to teach the whole of the Monster Mash Cup game. And then we have a link to the Monster Mash once your kids have figured out how to do it. This storybook link is, again, this was a contribution from one of our music play teachers. This was Megan that sent this link to her reading the storybook, The Little Old Lady Who Wasn't Afraid of Anything. She does a great lesson.
Hey everybody, Miss Jackson here. We are going to be reading The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything today. We're going to put some instruments in for all of the sounds. You can find some instruments where you are that can work for the sounds, just like the ones that I have. The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything.
So this is a great instruments as they come in that she suggests to use it. So really beautifully done lesson. This is a link to the Rattlebone Rock storybook. And again, it's another storybook you can add lots of sound effects to. Room on the Broom is another add-on storybook. And this is a link to a reading of it. Where's My Mummy? Another great opportunity to add sound effects. And then Dana Hero, who's a very active member in our music play teacher, given us a whole lesson on Danse Macabre. And she explains it all in this 30-minute video. If you want to teach this using Dana's video, you certainly can. But if you want to do it yourself, she's, again, given us all the visuals that she uses for this. And so these are all the visuals that you'll need for the Danse Macabre. And she just does, like I say, a fabulous lesson. And at the end, she demonstrates how to do the glow stick routine that she's taught through this whole lesson.
Glow sticks. Grab two any color and follow along. We're going to start off with our clock chiming midnight, and we will tap our city beat 12 times. Here we go.
And Dana will lead you through that entire activity. So this is, again, a marvelous module. You can use this. These activities will work for any grade level. And if I go back to my modules, the last one that I have is a new module of instrument kit activities. So if you've gone to all the time and trouble of making up instrument kits, we've given you more activities to do with those instrument kits. So these are all the list of things that we've got in here. So we've got let everyone play the woods, click, click. Let everyone play the woods. And then let everyone play the metal. So the kids learn to do the instrument families. And right now we just have the audio link, but one of our video makers, creators, has created wonderful videos of these. So we'll leave this here, but we'll be adding a video to it. And then play, play, play together. Play, play, play along together. And then they play, play quietly. Play, play, loudly play. And then a verse of play, play, slowly play. So this is more primary than upper elementary, but it's fun all the same. And again, the audio is here. fun to play. And then this one features different instruments. Instead of the guiro, I think I would be using my pool noodles, because that's, again, great opportunity for the kids to do pool noodle scraping, pool noodle scraping, scrape, 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 scrape. And right now we have just the words and audio, but coming in the next day or two will be a new video. This is relative note values, move to show the relative note values. And so I typically will teach this with an instrument. So I'll play a whole note and I'll go stretch, 2, 3, 4, stretch, 2, 3, 4. And when I play half notes, I want them to slide, slide, slide. So this part of this activity I can do with my wee little ones. I can do it with my 4th grade. Walk, 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 jogging, jogging, jogging. So that, again, is a great activity for them to move to the music. And then we have a really neat piece of music to do the movements with the music. And then we have the same note values here, but this time the kids play along with them. So again, if you've got your instrument kits, I can do a whole note with my pool noodle scrapers, or I can do half note, or I can do quarter note and 8th notes. And again, we've given a fun piece of music to play that with. And then these are play-alongs where, again, the kids are going to need some reading ability and music again. This is the simple version of it. We have a video version of it that is coming and will be here for next week, maybe even by tomorrow. Here's a play-along with piano roll, and piano roll is a fun piece of music. So I play ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta. So all of those are great things to do with these instrument kits that everybody has made. And what I want to do now is jump to the lessons for October week 3. And this would be next week on my calendar anyways. Next week is October week 3. So in pre-K, the lesson for October week 3 is going to take us through a freeze dance, a flashlight vocal warm-up, Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, spider on the floor, eensy weensy spider. So I am going to, you can see where everything is here. I'm going to show you how I would prefer to teach it. I'm going to stop sharing so you see me. And rather than screen sharing, I have my second device. And my second device is and I can go to the exact same lesson. And I can start the lesson with my time for music song. I think everybody probably knows that by now. And if I'm face to face with my kids, instead of doing the video of the flashlight warm up, it would be fun to just try some different kinds of bobo and do my bobo warm up. Bobo. And you sing back. Bobo, bo. Follow the lesson on my iPad, but I don't have to do it all at the same time. Now, the freeze dance, I could do as a freeze dance game. And what you want to do is you want to pause the music, and anybody who's still moving is out and they sit down. Or you can use this freeze dance music and have your kids play along with it. So in this one, I've got my pool noodle scrapers, or I've got my tambourine, whatever instruments I have available. I've got a little hand drum here that I could use. freeze dance with it. I get the kids all up and moving. And when I pause it, they have to freeze. Oh, these buttons are too small, but I have to freeze whenever I stop it. So the freeze dance activity is fun. What I really want with these activities, I want kids practicing keeping a steady beat, because until they have mastered steady beat, teaching them rhythms at this age is it's not going to be as successful. What we really need to develop is their singing voice and their steady beat. So the next thing is to learn the poem Little Miss Muffet. And I do this as a finger play. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. And then I might say it in a low voice and maybe in a high voice. And if you don't know how to do that or it's new for you, um, use the kids demo. Then we have the song Spider on the Floor, on the Floor. And again, I could go through the whole thing, but basically I either get the kids to color and cut out a spider. We've given you a spider graphic in this lesson that they could cut out and put on the various parts, or they just move their fingers like a spider and they dramatize it. And sometimes just dramatizing is plenty for them. So Spider on the Floor would be next, and they can print and draw their own spider. And then we would review the Eensy Weensy Spider, which is a middle voice, a Great Big Spider, which is a low voice, and the Teeny Tiny Spider, which is in a high voice. And so that's been taught in a previous week, but we bring it back to review as much as we can. Pre-K is where the letter songs are for the alphabet. And so letter C says K, letter C says K, like cool cat. Letter C says K. And of course, black cats are this time of year. And then I would teach them the cool cat creeps and crawls. Cool cat creeps and crawls. And they like that song. It's got a jazzy feel to it. The pre-K lesson is the bony skeletons. And again, this is movement. The bony skeletons walk. The bony skeletons walk. Walking up and down the street, the bony skeletons walk. And even though it's spooky, we haven't used any witches in this song, no ghosts or goblins. It's skeletons, cats, and I think maybe bats in there. So it's okay for everybody to participate in that song. I've given the Mortimer story as well. Always better if you have a copy of the book and can read it to the students. But the Mortimer story is a really excellent story for adding sound effects to. So that's pre-K lesson week 3 of October. And if I go to back to my modules and I jump to kindergarten, we're going to have all kinds of fun stuff there too. So kindergarten week 3, I'll quickly show you what's coming. There's the pre-K lesson and the spider that you can cut out. And I have to go back to all my modules and then go to my kindergarten. So kindergarten, this is October week 3. So we start with welcome to school. Same freeze dance as I did with pre-K, warming up with spooky sounds. And then we're going to learn the Halloween Looby-Loo, jelly in the bowl and play instruments with it, pumpkin fat, the pumpkin fat game. And then we're going to play which pattern do you hear. I would like to stay and show you this fabulous activity. Should I do it in order? I guess I'm not. The pumpkin fat song. We teach it first.
Ready, go, pumpkin, pumpkin, round and fat. Turn into a jack-o'-lantern just
So we're showing the kids how the notes go higher and lower in the song. And then this is how Janae's kids played the game pre-COVID times. In post-COVID times, if you're on a Zoom lesson with the kids, sing this song, make a scary face and freeze. And somebody gets to pick out the one that's the scariest. So if you have just 2 kids to play, if your kids are at home, you could have, and then the first one who laughs. It's a Zoom lesson, sing the song, all the kids make a scary face and freeze, and the teacher is going to try to make you laugh or move, or you could ask a student. But this interactive is fabulous. I would not screen share everything, but something like this, you pretty well have to screen share. So which pattern do you hear? 1, 2, or 3? Pattern 2. And I can check on here as well if I want. Now I'm going to listen to the next pattern. Did you think it was bum, 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 or this one, or this one? And if you thought it was pattern 1, let's check. And we were absolutely right. And then the next one, and that's pattern 3. And that's pattern 2. And then the last one gives all the patterns. So green, yellow, round, and fat, turn into a jack-lantern, just like that. So this is a really fabulous interactive activity. So I'm going to stop the screen sharing and just go through the rest of that lesson for kindergarten. So freeze dance would be just the same as it was for pre-K. You can get the kids dancing and moving. You pause it and they have to freeze. You can have them make a shape. The Halloween Looby Loo song is actually fun to do just as a singing song. So stir the brew with me. In, you put your bat wing out, you give your wing a shake, 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 and turn yourself about. Ooh, 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 on a Halloween night, you put your cat paw in, your paw out, you give your paw a shake, 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 and turn yourself about. Ooh, 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 on a Halloween night, you put your leg bone in, you put your leg bone out, you give. And it is lots and lots of fun to play that with the parachute and going around with the parachute. But stirring the witch's brew or stirring the scary brew is going to be lots of fun. So for kindergarten, I have the poem Jelly in the Bowl. And really this is to introduce them to AABA phrase form. Jelly in the bowl, jelly in the bowl, wibble wobble, jelly in the bowl. So one movement for the A phrase, a different movement for the B phrase. And then you could try that with instruments instead. Jelly in the bowl, jelly in the bowl, wibble wobble, jelly in the bowl. And what your children suggest, then you can try it out with a variety of different instruments. The pumpkin fat, and after I would actually teach them the game first. So you would sing, pumpkin, pumpkin, round and fat, turn into a jack-o'-lantern just like that. And then whoever makes the scariest face gets to be the leader the next time around. So that will work with the Zoom lesson. Okay, I am going to go from kindergarten on to grade 1. And I'm pulling it up on device number 2. So in this one, we're going to have welcome to music. Welcome to music to start the lesson off. Some vocal warm ups with some spooky sounds. And Lisa leads this one and she does hello. And everyone answers hello. So it's spooky and it's kind of fun. And I like to do this again. We've given the freeze dance for kids to either dance to and freeze or play instruments to. Then we have the song Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. And we want kids to create accompaniments for it. So if they're at home and if they can find seven different things to make noises with, they could do each day of the week on a different instrument. So I could do Monday meatballs, all you hungry children, come and eat 'em up. And when I do Tuesday turkey, Monday meatballs, I can do it on different instruments. I could do Wednesday watermelon, Tuesday, Monday meatballs, all you hungry children, come and eat 'em up. And there is an interactive activity as well. You could screen share and share this interactive. I have to screen share or it's not going to work for you to see what I'm doing. So I'm going back to all my modules. I'm going to 1 and lesson 7. Dance. Today is Monday. Printable, but here's the interactive. So if you're with the kid in person and you can have some of those instruments, you could put them in. And I could do maracas for Tuesday. I could do claves for Wednesday. It's sort of whatever you have available that you put into there. My phone's ringing and I can do nothing about it. So that's optional. I have a song here called I Can Pretend. And this it came from a is witches. And there's a lot of schools that don't Halloween. So I Can Pretend I'm Something Else Can You is going to have different animals to move. And so the kids move just like the animal. In fact, I'm going to stop screen sharing so I can show you. I can pretend I'm something else. I'll pretend that I'm a bird and then I'll fly around the world. I'll pretend that I'm a bird and then I move like a bird to the music. And we don't need to hear all of that. Track sleeping. And this is like the old gray cat. If you can't do witch's cat, do kitchen cat instead. And we don't have videos made for those alternate words, but the alternate words are given. And if you're in person, like I am right now to you, you can certainly change the words without the kids ever knowing that you've changed the words. The witch's cat is sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. Or the kitchen cat is sleeping in the house. The little mice are playing, playing, playing. The little mice playing in the house. The little mice are nibbling, nibbling, nibbling. The little mice are nibbling in the house. The witch's cat or the kitchen cat is stretching, stretching, stretching. The kitchen cat is stretching in the house. The kitchen cat is chasing, chasing, chasing. The kitchen cat is chasing in the house. Pre a really fun singing game to play with the kids. Now it's just going to be something that we dramatize. I also have in this lesson to listen to long-eared persons from Carnival of the Animals, and this is for practicing high and low sounds. And there's a demo of me doing it with a scarf, and you can hear a little bit of this and see how it's done. Down, down, up, down. So just good practice for the kids listening and responding to the high and the low sounds in the music. And we have a listening map for them to follow. So that's grade 1 lessons for October week 3. And I'm going back and I'm going to look at grade 2 and grade 2 for October week 3 for next week. We're going to use the Tony Chestnut song as a warm up. So I sing, welcome to music first, and then toe, touch your toes, knee, chest, nut, nose, I love you, toe, knee, nose, toe, knee, nose, toe, knee, chestnut, nose, I love you. That's what Tony knows. This is one of those songs with enough movement that if you're in person, you can do the movements with the kids, even if they can't sing, and they're still going to have fun with it because the movement is fun. And then I use that to review tempo terms. And of course, you can take them to the Tempo Interactive tool and Bat song. And I've asked the kids in the module first to read the words and then think of what kind of found sounds or instrument sounds that they could have. Birds and bats fly through the sky, through the sky, through the sky. Birds and bats fly through the sky on this October night. And again, nothing overtly Halloween. It's birds and bats. Birds and bats fly through the sky, through the sky, through the sky. Birds and bats fly through the sky on this October night. And then the treats in the bag go clinkety clank, clinkety clank, clinkety clank. The treats in the bag go clinkety clank on this October night. The silly old skeleton rattles his bones. I should have one of those African rattles that makes a really cool sound. But I'll find, again, whatever I can. Rattles his bones, rattles his bones, rattles his bones. I can make whatever sounds I want. And then they can listen to the song, play along with it. And then we have the game Pass the Broomstick. And we've adapted this because you can't pass things right now. So I'm going to share screen and I'm going to go to the game and show you how we have adapted it. It is really, I think, really quite clever. The game Pass, Can You Keep a Steady Beat, which is in the outdoor music modules inspiration for this game. So I am going to go down to Pass the Broomstick. And
Hi, I'm Mrs. Gagne, and today we're going to show you how to play Pass the Broomstick. This is a passing game in pre-COVID times. Now we're going to play it as a beat-keeping game and a cooperative learning game to try and get it all the way around the circle. First, we're going to do the words together. Pass the broomstick round the circle, don't you let it drop. And on the rest, you put hands on your shoulders. I don't want to have the broomstick when the music stops. So we'll say it all together. 1, 2, here we go. Pass the broomstick round the circle, don't you let it drop. I
I don't want to have the broomstick when the music stops.
Now, the first challenge is we're each going to say the words of one beat and see if we can make it all around the circle without stopping. I'll start. 1, 2, ready, go. Pass the broomstick.
Round the circle.
Don't you let it drop.
I don't
Want to have the broomstick.
when the music
Stop. So we made it all around the circle that way. That's the easy way. Now we're going to challenge by every time we have the word broomstick instead. And we're going to start it in a different place. So, Ryan, you get to start this time.
Pass the.
Round the circle.
Don't you let it
Drop. I don't.
want to have the
When the music.
stop.
And we did pretty well with that too. Let's make.
So that makes it lots of fun. If you're at home Zooming with kids, get them to make a board game. And then they choose a place to start on the board game. Pass the broomstick round the circle. Don't you let it drop. I don't want to have the broomstick when the music stops. Oh, I missed it. I have to try a different game, a different place to start. The fossils video that we link to here again is a fabulous video, and it illustrates the night at the museum idea really well for the kids. So the fossils are exploring the museum while the security guards are sleeping. Oh, the security guard's awake, and he's going to investigate what the sounds are. And then when the kids actually dramatize it, it is tons and tons of fun. So that's grade 2, October week 3. And I'm going to go on to grade 3. 1 week I'm going to have to do this in reverse order and start with my oldest and go to my youngest. So I'm going to grade 3. October week 3, I'm finding the module. So I gave the grade 3s the freeze dance as well. And the reports I'm hearing back is that they really like it. And then for grade 3, I've got a short video on Robert Schumann. These videos are under 2 minutes. This one's 1 minute and 41 seconds, but gives the kids a nice overview of his life, and it puts his music into a little bit more of the context in which he wrote it. And then there's a play along to go along with the piece Hobgoblin. And it's not a terribly difficult play along. It'll be fun for the kids to do, and good reading practice for them as well. Then I want them to review dynamics, terms, and symbols. And I've given them a chart with all the symbols, the PP, the Italian word pianissimo, and the meaning of the word, which challenging reading level ability for some of the kids. But the poem that we're using it with is so much fun. The kids will really love it. It's called In a Dark, Dark Room. And I know Christy and Tracy talked about it last week. There's a storybook version of this. So here's the grade 3. This doesn't work if you can't see it as well. So there's the Schumann, there's the Hobgoblin, there's the dynamics terms, and here's the poem. In a dark, dark wood, there was a dark, dark house, and in that dark, dark house. So you try at different dynamic levels. You can try it soft, getting louder, or you could try it loud, getting quiet, and then really loud at the end. And we've given the kids a worksheet, or they could just, we always say, number a piece of paper from 1 to 7 and write in the dynamics that you want to try. And I've said that you're going to give them bonus points if you write down both the term and the meaning. So this is the worksheet if they have a printer. This is if no printer is available. And then, of course, you're going to perform that together, however you've decided to do it. The Monster in the Closet is an interactive story with sound effects. This is an exemplar of what you can do in terms of writing a spooky story. And again, you can write your own spooky story. If the kids have printers, great. If they don't have printers, I'm just expanding this with my fingers. These are all the electronic sound effects that I can use, but I can also use instrument sound effects. And so the students are to write their own spooky story. And for many grade threes, this could be the complete end of the lesson. And we want them to read it. And this will allow them to go to the Halloween activity. They have to scroll down. There's the interactive version of In a Dark, Dark Room, spooky sound effects. So there's footsteps in leaves. Here's an owl. Wolves. So lots of fun effects, and writing these stories is a great way to integrate language arts and music in a very authentic way for the music teachers. So here's where you'll find the spooky sound effects. Here's the exemplar story. Here's an interactive version of In a Dark, Dark Wood, so you can make it full screen, and then you can drag up the dynamics to it as you wish. So that is grade 3 for this week, 4th grade for this week. And again, we're trying to include things that are spooky in keeping with the season, but giving options for those kids who don't do Halloween. So one of my favorite songs for 4th grade is the Bats song. And that's what is coming up for next week. Now, the way I would really like to play this is to blow up balloons and give it out to the kids. And then for the they pull the balloons apart. Well, that's not going to happen this year. We can't share anything, especially not balloons that you have blown into. But you can maybe think of some fun ways that you can make that sound effect. And the Bats song, again, it's spooky. It's in a minor key. It's fun because they love the with your kids. Absolutely demonstrate blowing up a balloon and showing them the sounds. Or even in person, you could have the balloon. But I know the kids really love to play it themselves. But this bat song, because it only talks about bats can fly around and make such spooky sounds. It chills my bones whenever I hear ee, ee, ee. Because it's spooky and creepy. It fits really well with Halloween, but says nothing about witches or ghosts or goblins. So you can teach. Then we teach the kids in 4th grade the Ma Kue song, which is a Maori titi toria or a Maori stick game. It's a great example of 3/4 time. In the kids' demos, we've got 2 boys that were grade 5, grade 6 demonstrating. So we've got a good vocal model of boys singing the song. And the kids can do this at home with wooden spoons for sticks. And if at school and you've made your instrument kit, they can use their dowels. And I've also included a link to a Polynesian Cultural Center performance of this. And these guys are absolutely fabulous. And then I give the grade 4s the spooky story to write and add sound effects to it as well. So that's 4th grade, lots of fun stuff in 4th. And again, no reason why you can't do the same lesson with 4th and 5th. Save yourself some planning and make it a little bit easier for yourself. The grade 5 lesson for October week 3 features the song Ghost of Tom. And I teach it with the note highlights. And then I have a kid's demo demonstrating the movements. So I'll show you what the movements are. Have you seen the ghost of Tom? Long white bones with the flesh all gone. And in the past, I've always played this as a partner game, but we're just going to have to dramatize it with individual movements now. It can be sung as a round if you're allowed to sing. But again, if you're Zooming, it's always hard. You can't do anything as a round over Zoom. The lag is just too difficult. The Ghost of Tom uses only one chord, and it's an E minor for guitar, which is really easy, or you could have them do a D minor on the ukulele. So if kids have access to ukulele, this could be something that they accompany with their ukuleles. I have the kids doing the major minor game. I'm going to share screen and take you to the major minor game. So I want up here, I want to go into grade 5, and the major minor game is here. And the object of this game is to melt the snowman. And actually, level 2 is quite tricky. Oh, come on, hurry up. Close it, open it again. So if I think it was minor, I got it right. And that one is major, major, another major. These are randomized. Another major. Oh, we have a minor. If I want to hear the sound again, these games are being rebuilt. So this version, the new version, it'll just be click. But right now, I have to hold it down in order to play it again. And that's a minor. And our snowman has melted away. So the other part of the lesson is to learn about the composer Bizet. And again, we've got a link to a nice little short composer video about George Bizet. It's 1 minute and 54 seconds. It's not going to take long. And then a play along with the Toreadors. And then I've demonstrated how you can do sevens with the Toreadors. So let's give this just a little bit of a try. If you haven't, you're going to have to try it. There's 4 patterns. Pattern 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pattern 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pattern 3 gets trickier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then pattern 4 is pat, cross, pat. To do is to find as many songs as possible, selections as possible that'll work with sevens. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do pattern 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pattern 2. Pattern 3. Pattern 4. Pattern 3. Pattern 2. Little interlude there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. So you might have to make some little adaptations in between there, but doing sevens with that would be fun. And then I've included lesson 9 of the body percussion unit by Christian for the students. And the last grade that we have is middle school, and we have changed the names to from grade 6 to middle school, so that our teachers that teach grade 7 and 8 general music can use these lessons, and they don't say grade 6 on them if you're using them with 8th graders. So in grade 6 for week 3, we've got oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Frankenstein, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Frankenstein. So it's just a silly song, but it introduces the dotted eighth, 16th note rhythm. So timka is the word that I would use for it. So I start off the grade 6 lesson by doing poison rhythm, using that rhythm. And then which rhythm did you hear? And going to level 11, which has that timka. Then I take the kids to the composing tool where they can compose using that timka. And again, it would be choosing level 8. And then I give them a track that they can play their composition with. We sing Oh My Darling Frankenstein. And this is another easy song to accompany if you've got ukuleles or guitars, because it uses only F and C on the ukulele. So it would be a great song to use in ukulele classes if you have ukuleles in your in-person teaching that you're I want them to practice the note names because it is a reading song. So we've got the solfa, and we've got an interactive way for them to practice note names. And again, I've done lesson 9 of the body percussion that teaches the butterfly clap. That's Christian's body percussion unit, and an opportunity to create your own body percussion lesson. That is a lot of teaching. 8 grade levels and 3 online learning modules under an hour. So I hope you really have fun with the online learning modules for October week 3. If you have any questions, my email is denise@musicplay.ca, and I'm often on Facebook to answer your questions. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you spending this time with me, and I hope you're having lots and lots of fun with your students using activities at musicplayonline.com.